The office of the principal is very clean, and there's a lot of certificates and plaques displayed. The library of Bayambang National High School is full of books and modules. It has enough space to cater students while studying. The canteen is a store that sells food and drinks at an institution or school. It has enough space for the students and the surrounding is clean and also the food is delicious. There's an emergency kit hanging in the wall, a bed, and a medicine if there's a student needs it. Audiovisual learning in school involves the use of multimedia tools such as videos, presentation, and interactive content to enhance students' understanding and engagement by incorporating both auditory and visual elements into the educational experience. Science laboratory is a special facility where experiments are done. Gymnasium in BNHS has a wide space which is open for all to do their sports or some activities or events in the school.
During my observation and previous school environment, these facilities are available and some are not available. Auditorium. Available. An auditorium in a school is a large hall or room equipped with seating and a stage, primarily used for hosting various events such as assemblies, lectures, performances, and presentations. Outdoor garden. Available. It is an area allotted to cultivate new plants, crops, vegetables, flowers, and so on that are related to the gardening process. Home economics room. Available. Typically involves teaching practical skills related to managing a household, such as cooking, sewing, budgeting, and other domestic tasks, with the aim of preparing students for independent living. Comfort room for girls and boys. Not available. There's a comfort room for girls and boys, though it's not that clean because of some irresponsible user. Computer laboratory. Available. In this place, there's a lot of computer display, have a flat screen TV, and a projector. Computer laboratory where they are doing their class in ICT. Faculty room available. Faculty is the office of the teachers or a faculty staff. It is the most important rooms for educators. The teacher's room is where the staff can relax before or after class with their colleagues.
The classroom is the most useful utility in education because it provides a structured environment for learning, fostering a focused and collaborative atmosphere. It serves as a dedicated space where students can engage with teacher, ask questions, and receive immediate feedback, facilitating a more interactive learning experiences. Additionally, classrooms are equipped with educational resources such as whiteboards, projectors, and educational materials enhancing the learning process. The physical presence of classmates encourages social interaction, group discussion, and exchange of diverse perspectives. Due to the fact that schools frequently lack resources, funding and space for a garden may be seen as less useful than for other teaching aids. A garden's maintenance and care can also be resource intensive, taking time and money away from academic responsibilities. Moreover, others contend that learning activities in the garden would be more effective when conducted in a more regimented and standardized manner. Even though a garden can teach students a lot about environment consciousness, some might think that achieving scholastic requirements takes precedence over gardening. We most likely to add taekwondo room because we saw that the students just use the gym for their practice. They use the gymnasium small area even when there is an event happening on there. Additionally, adding a taekwondo room to a school would give students an opportunity to practice martial arts for the character development and physical fitness. Lastly, having a taekwondo room would give students a way to relax, impart useful life skills, and aid the growth of well-rounded people.
Describe the community where the school is located. In the school that we observed were in the Biambang National High School. Of course, the community there is diverse, comprising students, teachers, and staff from various backgrounds. The school is located closely to the town and covers a lot of students. What facilities are found in the community that aid learning? The specific facilities available depends on the size, resources, and priorities of each community. But some facilities in the community have learning facilities such as libraries, recreational spaces for outdoor activities and sports, technology center, auditoriums, gardens, and healthcare facilities.
What are the classroom management strategies that you observe? We have observed that our mentor, Ma'am Freda, always do the preliminary activities. These are the opening prayer and checking of the attendance. In addition, we observe that when her students get bored or when her students are not listening anymore, she will speak Korean language like 안녕하세요, so that she will catch the attention of her students again because we all know that most of the students are now Korean fans, right? So, furthermore, Mom Freda integrates her lessons into real life situations, whereas she tasks her students to have a reporting about their topic. And lastly, our mentor always ends her class with a prayer. What parts of the lesson these management strategies were utilized? Our mentor's topic is all about pakikilahok and volunteerismo, wherein she grouped her class into five to discuss the topic. And you know what? The last reporters were excellent in lecturing, so she asked them if what reward they want. And the last group have decided that they want to report on other sections too. That's wow, right? And you know, Manfreda agreed. And with that, we saw that the students applied their topic volunteerismo by volunteering to showcase their skills in discussing to the other sections. So, what Manfreda did is an integration of her lesson to the real life situation. What management strategy did the teacher utilize to keep the learning environment safe and conducive? Our mentor portrayed a balance of autonomy and a student-teacher relationship. We have noticed that when the students of the other sections were playing outside of our classroom, Mom Freda immediately went outside to ask them to stop playing because we are in the middle of the lesson proper. And we saw that the students really stopped playing. And with that, we concluded that Mom Freda is really passionate on her work. And on the other hand, about the student teacher. Mom Freda is also friendly to her students because the learners are very open and could express themselves without hesitation.
The school facility are important aspect in the student learning and education because the school facilities improve the quality of the study environment on the school, thus improving the quality of education. For example, if the classroom layout considers the rooms acoustics, then the students will be able to focus and concentrate more on their studies with teachers facing fewer distractions so that school facility will become useful. In the other hand, if the school are prone to distraction, causes damages and accidents and not conducive enough to this, the facility is not useful. Facility aids become learning when it helps the students to improve their academic performance and achieve the tasks needed by the curriculums. Researchers have found that the quality of the school facilities impact the student learning. Students focus better when they are comfortable and they are more likely to attend classes and may be less likely to become ill. For example, if you have a given activity to perform in your PE of the chair dance, if you're having a good facility, then a student can execute the dance effectively. Accordingly, Merit J 2010, conversely, if the school facilities and equipment are in a good state and in correct supply, all the planned experiences to be offered to the learners can be adequately implemented and learning would take place effectively. Thus, school facilities and equipment are vital if the curriculum has to be implemented. The impact of environment on the learners, it will support students to enhance their knowledge and skills. Factors like the luminosity of the light, the intensity of noise, and greenery around the home influence children's focus while learning. For example, students find it difficult to read and focus on a dim light and high bright light, so the light needs to be at the optimal luminosity. Research has shown that the engaged in learning environment increases students' attention and focus. It promotes the meaningful learning experiences, encourages higher levels of student performance, and motivates students to practice higher level critical thinking skills. Thus, the environmental factors in learning will help to support and develop the learning of the students. The classroom is conducive in learning when it provides the comfort and will help the student to learn effectively. For example, if the classroom possesses a comfortable physical space where children are able to sit comfortably and see and understand what the teacher is saying, as well as be socialized with their fellow classmates, it's one of the major components of a conducive learning environment.
Yes, we surely want to teach in that school. We observe because of the school as a whole is very conducive. The environment is clean and there are also many trees, which is good thing because it gives the student fresh air and a safe place to stay. The students were very polite, accommodating, and cooperative. You can see their willingness to learn and to share their ideas and knowledge about a certain topic. If we were the teacher, of course, the very first thing that we would do to make it more conducive is that we should match the age of the learners with the classroom design to catch their attention and also to make sure that it is properly ventilated so that our students are comfortable whenever they enter the classroom. We will make sure not to put something that is unnecessary in their learning so that their attention will never divert to something unimportant. The classroom management plays a crucial role in influencing the learning environment and the student learning outcome. Effective classroom management contributes a positive and productive learning atmosphere. If we are to design a learning environment for our would-be students, this is how it would look like.
We had the honor of experiencing personally the dynamic world of successful teaching at Bayambang National High School on December 12. This investigation, which included observing a classroom, was driven by the primary goal of understanding the essential elements that pre-service teachers need to understand in order to succeed in the future. Our gracious host, Mrs. Aurora Glenda B. Ramos, Head Teacher of Edukasyon sa Pagpapakatao, kindly facilitated for our visit. We went from Mrs. Ramos' office to Mrs. Maria Freda Aznar, who is a model teacher and who personifies the art of teaching of edukasyon sa pagpapakatao. We started our observation at 8:30 a.m.
As we entered in the room where we are designated to observe, under the class of Mrs. Maria Freda Aznar handled the class of the grade 9 antinomy. The students have a diverse characteristic, skills, and behavior. The class discussion was set up creatively by Mrs. Maria Aznar, volunteered her students in the class of grade 9 Patino, a special science student who has a different trait. They took over the lectures through the group reporting, while Mrs. Aznar facilitates the learning. We observed the interaction between the students who were developing skills communication by exchanging their ideas, knowledge about the lesson. We had the involvement and volunteerism through the Module 8. During the reporting, the class and the students reporter actively participate with one another in the lectures. The creativeness of the students of how they talk, modulate their voice, and their physical and psychomotor skills such as hand gestures, swinging feet, and different mannerisms. This kind of behaviors are accepted and embraced inside the classroom, and all the learners are respected for how they express their mind, their thoughts, and through the learning process. They can relate to each other by giving a classroom a real-world experience scenario, so they were able to connect and relate to the topic at the end of the lessons. Teacher Aznar take over the floor by motivating her encouraging words of wisdom to improve the students' progress. We observe how important the feedback from the teachers and students because it will help the learners to improve their abilities and will strengthen their weaknesses. And it ends with the prayer. And after the discussion, we had a special meeting with our mentors, Mrs. Glenda Ramos, the head teacher in the values education, together with Mrs. Freda Aznar, whom we were assigned to observe. They give us advices and insight on how we handle the learning and teaching process with diverse learners by employing different techniques and strategies that will attract the hearts and attention of the student. She showed us how they're compassionate about the job that they are doing. Having this long and session with them will help us ignite the fire in our hearts to pursue the education.
Fostering inclusion and awareness around multicultural education and taking a culturally responsive approach to teaching benefits all students. Based on my observation, most of the learners are listening to their teacher if they are having a class discussion, and I saw that they are participating and cooperating in the learning process. I noticed that the teacher is well liked by her students and they are comfortable talking to her because she cares not only about her students' life, but also she cares about her students' success. If a students feel appreciated and comfortable with the teacher, there's a better chance they will feel comfortable talking with and respect their peers in the class, and communication is the core to a culturally aware and inclusive classroom.
How much interaction is there in the classroom? Describe how the students interact with one another and with the teacher. Are there groups that interact more with the teacher than others? So our answer is that the interaction in the classroom is very active. The students can express themselves openly without hesitation because the teacher portrays a strong student-teacher relationship. But still, a balance of reverence and openness is present. Lastly, we observe that Although they are close with the teacher, only a few students still interact with the teacher. Observe the learner's behavior during the conduct of the class. How do they behave and interact differently? So our answer is that since we are in the special science section, we observe that the learners are really paying attention to their teacher. Whenever the teacher asks a question, they will immediately answer. The learners know when to keep quiet and when to use the academic noise. We could say that these learners are really responsible and well disciplined.
The learners cooperate with each other. I can say that they were very cooperative because when the last group presented in front, all of their classmates listened and participated. They also shared their ideas whenever they were asked by the presenter. And when the presentation was done, their classmates shared with the teachers the things they had noticed during the presentation. They even shared good and not so good comments, which showed that that class doesn't show competition but growth.
They were all participated, which is a good thing because it shows that the presenters are good at what they are doing. They easily got their attention and made them engage in the discussion because they used technique, a lesson game, and whoever gets the right answer will have a prize. I didn't notice something asking for help because they were all enjoying what the presenters were doing.
We observed that they helped their classmates to answer the question asked by their teacher. They raised their hands for them to recognize by the teacher. Some classmates may raise their hands to be called upon by their teacher, while others may offer assistance to the struggling classmate by providing some hints to the answer in a collaborative and supportive manner. And the teacher's approach to encouraging his or her students' involvement in the classroom culture plays a significant role in shaping the students' behavior. Being a student teacher is a mix of excitement, learning, and some nervousness, providing an opportunity to apply theoretical knowledge in real classrooms, witness diverse teaching styles, and navigate challenges. Through the years, inspirational teachers have positively impacted students, addressing their holistic development and preparing them for success. However, negative impacts from teachers can hinder students' well being, leading to stress, low self esteem, and educational trauma. Recognizing and addressing these issues is crucial for fostering a positive learning environment. As a future teachers, being good role models is essential, guiding students toward wisdom, curiosity, and the belief in their own transformative power.
As we observe in the classroom, we feel overwhelmed and motivated to do more, to learn more, and improve ourselves in this field that as we choose the path of teaching. We also feel a sense of oneness among the learners as the teacher gave a huge impact to the learning of the learners. In the future, how will you want the learning in your classroom to interact? How will you make it happen? In the future, we want to aim for positive and collaborative interactions among learners in a classroom. Of course, to make it happen, we will encourage students to express their thoughts and share ideas without fear of judgment and create a respectable environment.
A high school student which range to ages 14 to 16 years old. Gross motor skills. The reporters talk with their hand gestures while standing, walking and clapping their hands whenever they get the right answer coming from their audience, and they can manipulate the teaching aids used in the lecture. The students are able to stand and lift their hands on recitation, and they are able to stand straight while talking and listening, and it ends with the applause. Fine motor skills. The reporters set up the teaching aids through their hands and manifested the hand gesture by pointing everywhere. The students lift their hands whenever they will share their ideas, express their thoughts. Self-help skills. The reporters are independently manipulated the technology and they use and set up the classroom into a conducive manner where the students are able to study well and comfortably learn from one.
High school, age range of children observed is 14 to 15 years old. Silent characteristic. The students desire to express their ideas and viewpoints to the class. Along with developing their own ideas, they also acquire the capacity for critical thought and an intense drive to form connections. Implications to teaching learning process. Teachers have to foster an environment that values variety among their students and learning. The effectiveness of the teaching learning process also depends the teacher's ability to be innovative in the creation of interactive materials, providing a setting where students may express themselves without worrying about being discriminated against.